So we're going to start our warm up with just some static squats. Warm up those big muscles in our legs. We're going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And then we're going to come into a side lunge back and forth, just as a warm up. So 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Now we're going to come into what I call a hamstring fold. So we're going to reach down, keeping that leg nice and straight, back is flat. Just reach down, come back up, and switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Now we're going to take it down into downward dog. You see, we're trying to get our heart rate up a little bit here. Warm up these big muscles. Feel your heart rate coming up a little bit. We're going to come into a downward dog, and we're going to do some pedals here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come down onto your knees, and then of course, always love some good rock backs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. So your heart rate should be up a little bit. You should be warmed up, and we're going to jump right into workout A. Great warm up, and we're going to go right into workout B. We're going to grab our weights for our squats now. So you're going to pick a weight that you feel comfortable doing 2 sets of 15 squats with. And remember, go ahead and start lighter, because you can progress each week, or you can pick 1 set of weights and progress 2 weeks into this phase, because this phase is all about building that strength. We want to progress the weight each week or every 2 weeks. So for this weighted squat, you have a choice of holding those weights here and coming down into your squat, or holding them down here and coming down into the squat, as long as that doesn't pull you forward. So do whatever feels most comfortable to you. I prefer this position here, and we're going to do 2 sets of 15. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Very good. Put those weights down. Give yourself a little bit of a rest break, and I'm going to give you some more cues. When you're coming down into these squats, you're going to really focus on your hip hinge, and then sit back. Remember my cue from before where you're sitting on a public restroom toilet? You want to sit back into that. You also want to be mindful that your knees aren't caving in. Okay? We're going to do our second set of 15. I'm going to show from this angle this time. I'm also going to show with it down this direction in case you wanted a visual of that. So we're going to inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. All right, let's put those weights down and we're gonna get set up for overhead press. Let's pick up those weights for our overhead press. Now, if you did this in sitting before in a kneeling position and you used one weight, go ahead and try that same weight in standing. But if you come to standing and you do this and you feel pressure downward, go ahead and drop your weight just a little bit to get more accustomed to this standing position and then progress from there when you feel comfortable. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 15, standing overhead press. That exhale as you're going up, that core stays engaged, and watch for this compensation as you go up. You wanna stay nice and stacked, rib cage over pelvis. I'm actually gonna do it from this view for you. First set of 15, inhale to prepare, exhale, lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, great. Put those weights down for a little bit of rest. Do some arm circles, kind of shake out those muscles. And I want you to think of this as an arm exercise, because yes, we're pressing overhead, but really focus on what your core is doing, okay? This becomes extremely helpful to be able to maintain this position of your core while you're doing any lifting. Because remember, this position, rib cage stacked over pelvis, is what enables your abdominals and your pelvic floor to kick in at their most optimal position to help you in any movement that you're doing, whether that's lifting your kids or lifting the plates up into the cabinets or groceries or whatever it is. So this move is super important. All right, let's do another set. From this view, also watch and see if your rib cage is flaring up. We want to keep that rib cage neutral, so not flaring up and not gripping down. Let's do our second set of 15. Inhale to prepare, exhale, press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Even those 8s will get your arms burning. Let's get set up for our hip thrust. Remember, you're going to be on an elevated surface here or a workout bench. You can use, this is our guest bed, you can use a couch, an ottoman. It has to be a firm enough surface that you can stay put. But in phase 1, we worked on this progression of just doing the thrust, and you had the option of doing a single leg. So now I'm going to give you 2 options to play around with in this progression. So we can either add weight. Actually, I'm going to give you 3 options. You can add weight and keep it double leg. You can add weight here. You can add weight and do your single leg. Or you can do this march variation where you're going to come up, march, and then come down. So I'm going to show one set of 15 with the march. We're going to inhale, exhale to come up, hold that position, 1, 2. Now that's 1 rep, so we're going to do 10 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! I know you felt the burn on that one. Go ahead and take a rest break, and you can either continue on with that variation, or you could do 1 set like this and 1 set with the weight. You can kind of play around with it and see what you like best and what gives you a really good challenge. All right, we're gonna get set up for that second set of that hip lunge. You can choose to keep doing the hip thrust with the march, or you can choose to put a weight on. This is just another variation. You can put that weight right in the crease of your hip where it folds right here. And as we come up on one leg, you're gonna hold that weight right there. So we'll do our second set showing this variation, and you can choose which one you like. So we're gonna exhale on the way up. We're doing 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, if you're doing that variation, we'll just do 10 on each leg since we're switching legs. So go ahead and switch the weight over to the other side, hand behind the head for support, and we're going up for 10. Remember, you can also point your heel up to really get the hamstring more involved. That's the back of your leg. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. We're going to come right into our reverse fly. So grab some weights, and we are going to come into this hip hinge position, and we're going to bring the arms out like you're opening up and holding a beach ball. So the beach ball is growing and it's in between your arms. Now grab a lighter weight, because this is a smaller muscle in your back that we're working, and you don't need heavy weights for this. So we're going to lean forward. We're going to exhale as we bring the arms out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Put those weights down. Let me give you some cues. So when you are doing this exercise, you want to make sure that you're not holding a lot of tension up through your shoulders or your neck. So when I come into this hinge position, my shoulders are relaxed. Look your head straight out in front of you a little bit, not totally down and definitely not up. So you keep your neck nice and relaxed. And as you come out, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. So this is the motion, but we're going to be doing it in this bent over position to get gravity into the motion. So go ahead and pick up those weights again. We're gonna do our second set of 15. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. As you progress through this phase and you are increasing your weights, those last couple of reps should feel difficult. You might need to give yourself an extra second or two in between and increase that exhale to really push through those last couple sets. That's how you know, those last couple of reps, that's how you know you're at an appropriate weight. You're able to keep your form, but those last couple reps, whew, you kind of had to fight for them. Great job. Come down into a split kneeling position here, because in phase 1, we did our rotation. It's called a chop motion. We did it without any weight. So now we're gonna start adding weight, and you can choose between being in this half kneeling position or a standing position. Standing is gonna be a progression. It's gonna be harder to maintain a good neutral core. So you can use these two as your progressions throughout this phase. So you're gonna take your weight, use something a little bit lighter because we're going all the way up to here with our arms. We don't need a super heavy weight. We want to focus on that core generating that movement into the rotation. This is less of an arm exercise and more of a core exercise. So we're going to start at the hip that the leg is down. Exhale. Bring it up to the opposite shoulder. Inhale down. So let's do 15 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to do these nice and slow and controlled. If you start doing this fast, you're gonna just be whipping that weight around and putting a lot of twist through your back, which is not gonna feel good. Very slow and controlled. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're going to switch sides. Give yourself a quick breather. Remember, this is harder with the legs more narrow. If you bring it out just a hair, it gives you a little bit more stability. And remember that when we're doing this, it's the core generating this motion. The arms are just along for the ride. Let's do our 15 on this side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Give yourself a little bit of rest. We're going to do another set of 15. This time I'm going to show it in standing, but feel free to keep both sets in a kneeling position and then progress to both sets in a standing position, Or you can kind of do what I'm doing right here and do one in kneeling and one in standing. And then as you progress, both in standing. So you have some wiggle room here to do what's working for your body. So I'm still gonna come in this staggered position here, and I'm gonna be doing the same thing, but I'm gonna have to work a lot harder to not arch my back as I bring this weight up, okay? Right here where I start to bring that weight back is when my core starts to turn on pretty hard in order to maintain this rib cage over pelvis position without this happening. So we're gonna do one set on this side, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Definitely getting hard on that last couple reps. All right, last set on the other side. I'm going to show it from this view just so you can see exactly where my arms are going, from that back leg hip to that front leg shoulder without twisting backwards. So let's do 15 here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew, I know you felt that in those abdominals. Good job. And if you're doing your breathing correctly, we shouldn't have any pressure going downward with these exercises. So keep up the good work. I want you to take a moment and get your band set up again. Whatever you've been using to hook your band up down low from this angle down here. Like previous videos, I'm using the bottom of a bookshelf. You could be using underneath a chair, underneath the couch where the little foot is, something that hooks it down underneath. We're gonna take the exercise that we did with a banded rotation. In the previous phase, we were down in a kneeling position and going across. Now we're gonna take this up into a standing position and start adding some movement to it. So for the first 2 weeks of this phase, I want you to start to introduce this motion here. Again, we're going out to the side, but the main thing is the core bringing that resistance from one hip to the other. So straight across that midsection. We're gonna start with a gentle movement here, and by the end of this 4 weeks, we're gonna progress it into a little bit more impact. So I'll show the first round where it's gentle and the second round where there's more impact. So we're gonna inhale to prepare, gentle step out, bring that band across your body. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Now we're going to come to the other side. Remember, this can be underneath depending on what you have available to hook it onto. Or for this one, you can even put this band at a little bit if you're putting it in the door and closing the door. If you have the kind of band that has the knob on the end, you can put it in your door just below the doorknob or just above the doorknob and shut it. And so that'll be coming out from a little bit more of a straight angle right here. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side here. So I'm going to tap out gently and reach across from one to the other. Exhale, inhale to prepare. Exhale, pull across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. All right, well, you take a quick rest because we are going to do another set of that. I want you to show you how, as you progress through this phase, so maybe you do 2 weeks of this, and then second 2 weeks, we can add a little bit more impact. So we're going to start landing a little bit harder. So instead of a gentle tap and twist, we're going to kind of go all in one and kind of almost fall into that. But I still want you to have a light foot, so you're not landing heavy. When we get into phase 3, we'll start doing some jumps and things like that. So this is to prepare for this. Inhale to prepare. We're gonna come out a little bit more and twist a little bit harder all at one time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm going a little faster this time too. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. I hope that felt like a little bit of a challenge for you. We're going to turn to the other side and do our other 15. Get yourself set up, do a test, make sure that you have good tension into where you're going to rotate. Inhale to prepare. Exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. I hope you felt the burn on that one because I certainly did.